Hello, this is Elanda with Empowering Life After Loss, and today I am always talking about my two children that are still living. This is Eric, my son, and as those of you know, those of you who do not know, my channel was created in the remembrance of my oldest daughter. She was killed in a car accident in 2012. And not only did I go through a lot of things emotionally, mentally, and it changed my life, but it also changed my family's life. I've said that several times. So today I have my son here, and he's very hard to catch up with. He has agreed to do a video with me. So I have asked him to be very transparent, very open. And so I'm just going to ask him a couple of questions so you guys can hear what he felt, what he still feels, what he still deals with the loss of his oldest sister. So with that being said, this is Eric Douglas. Eric is 22 years old. Eric, how old were you when Ebony was killed?
I believe I was, 14 or 13.
But you were in the eighth grade?
Yeah, eighth grade.
So what do you remember about that day?
The day that she died.
Yeah.
I remember we was out. We was not Christmas shopping. We were school shopping because school it was a school. I think it was about to start or either had started, but it was pretty much just buying new clothes and we was having a good time and not really worried about anything. Just really, like I said, just enjoying family time. And my mom was like, "I ain't heard from Ebony all day." And it kind of like resonated because they always talk like every night. So I thought about it, but I wasn't really too worried about it. And I remember we had came home, everybody had kind of showered, or like kind of laid down or whatever, and then we heard this loud knock at the door. And I know people say knock like the police, but I've never heard somebody knock like the police. So it's probably the loudest knock I've ever heard in my life. And when my mom opened the door, I was sitting over the rail, and I being nosy as a kid. And he was telling my mom just to sit down. She was like, "Nah, why are you here?" It was the sheriff. She was like, "Why are you here?" And from that point, he was like, "Just sit down. I have to tell you something." And she was like, "No, no, why are you here?" And he asked about my sister. He said, "Do you have a daughter named Ebony Douglas?" And she was like, "Yes." And he said that she had been killed in a car accident in a Bastrop. And it didn't make sense because my sister was in Prairie View and I never heard of Bastrop, so I didn't know what he was talking about. But like it didn't make I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe that my sister was gone because I had just talked to her the night before, and it didn't make sense to me that my sister just all of a sudden was here and she wasn't here. I've always heard someone say like live every day like it's your last, but it doesn't really click until something like that happens to you. But I just remember the sheriff coming to the door. He told us my sister had been killed in a car accident. And it just, like I said, I didn't believe it, so I wasn't really worried. But I'm like, she's not dead. Like, I'm not, like, stop lying to me. You playing games with us. I don't know who you are, but you're playing with us. So I mean, I felt away. I felt really empty. I didn't sleep probably for like 2, 3 days because I was really just trying to believe, like, why would this man come up to our house and tell us that my sister had been killed in a car accident? But it just, for the most part, it made me realize live every day like your last means.
And I remember back then, he says the sheriff, it was a state trooper that came to the house. I believe Eric was in the eighth grade. And I remember him going to school and everybody telling him to be strong and it's okay. And he started kind of getting in trouble in school. We had never had issues with him at school. He had never gotten in trouble or anything like that. So his teachers were telling him to be strong. How did you feel about people saying those types of things to you?
It's hard to tell somebody to be strong because I don't. What is that? What does that mean? Be strong. It's not necessarily a way to be strong because I mean everybody copes in their own different ways. So if you have a feeling or emotion that you have going on, and these people don't understand what you're going through, how you gonna tell me to be strong, or how you gonna tell me that it's okay or she's in a better place? Like it's that all those things are very easy to say to somebody that's going through something, but once you're going through it yourself, you telling me to be strong or it's gonna be okay. She's in a better place. That's another thing because I'm very mild mannered. I don't get mad fast. After that, I became a hothead. You couldn't really say nothing to me. You couldn't look at me the wrong way. Everything like set me off. So like I did start getting in trouble in school. Like I said, I used to be scared to fight. I started fighting people, I got in trouble in football. It was a big ordeal. I became a person I never thought I'd become because of my emotions were running so high. And it's like you couldn't, like I said, you couldn't say nothing to me. You weren't finna disrespect me. You weren't finna look at me a certain type of way. Anything that was going on in my life, I kind of inflicted through my emotions.
And with all that being said, everybody kept asking me, "Did you get them counseling? Did you get them counseling?" So, I had EAP. If you don't know what that is an employee assistant program. Actually, my husband had it through his job where you get free counseling sessions. So, I set up counseling for Eric and Paige, which they did not want to go. Why didn't you want to go to counseling?
I feel like a counselor it's a non-biased person, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know why, but I honestly truly feel like you have to go through my situation to understand me, or your situation has to be worse. And I feel like a lot of I'm not gonna say all, but the counselor I was with, he told me that his cousin had died in a car accident. I feel like it's deep, but it's not it's like my blood sister. This is somebody I grew up with my whole life. Somebody protected me. Somebody that I could call when I needed help. Somebody that, like I said, took care of me. So I felt like it was my second mom. So it hit different to me that it was. I didn't feel like nobody understood my situation. But as I got older, I know people, like I said, I have a friend that his whole family was killed in a car accident. So I'm like, wow. It just like I'm like his mom, sister, and his dad. So for me, it's like I'm really blessed that I still have my mom, my sister, and my dad, because if I could have lost all three of them, and it's like then again, it just makes me feel I don't know. It will make me feel even in the worst way because I don't know how to cope with that. So when he goes through that, it's like it makes my situation not as bad, but it's like too. I feel like there's somebody I could talk to because he understands what I'm going through and then some.
And one of the things that Eric asked me to do in remembrance of Ebony was to get a tattoo. At the time, I wasn't really big on tattoos. I thought he was too young because I think he was 17, 16 or 17 at the time.
15.
15. And he basically told me either I could help him get it or he was going to get it on his own. Not saying that was the right thing to do, but we have a close relationship and I didn't want him going anywhere where he would get infected or have issues or get hepatitis or something like that from somebody using dirty needles and dirty utensils. I didn't want him to go to his homeboy's house and get a tattoo in the garage. So I started looking for people that could help him get his tattoo. And he ended up getting a tattoo. What did you get and why did you want a tattoo?
I wanted a tattoo because I wanted her to be with me forever, and I felt like I've always liked tattoos. I just never knew what to get, and I know a lot of young people want tattoos. They're like, I just want to get a tattoo. I just want to get a tattoo. One thing I would say is that before you get a tattoo, know exactly it's gonna be on the body. It's gonna be on your body for the rest of your life. Know exactly what you want to get and have a purpose behind what you get. Everything doesn't have a purpose, but I feel like for me, everything on my body has a purpose. So I have, can you see it? I have my sister's name on the top, Douglas. I have a cross. Hold on. I have a cross, 9412 with wings. I also have, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. That was her favorite Bible verse. And I have another one on the back of my arm that's Hakuna Matata with the Lion King within it.
And what is Hakuna Matata? You did Hakuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata means no worries, and that was her favorite movie. So that's just a song. If you watch Lion King, that the song between Timon and Pumbaa is like a staple point of that movie. It just really, so for me, it makes me, it means no worries. It makes me kind of feel better when I feel down myself, when I feel suicidal myself. It makes me remember that everything's okay. It makes me feel like, it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like there's nothing that I can't do. And it's like, it's just no worries. Don't worry about what you can't control.
So you said when you feel suicidal, what pushed you in that place and what helps you get out of that place?
So when I get suicidal, because this is the thing too, I've always been a snitch. So when my sister would do something, I would always tell it. It's like I would never be like, I'm like anything that my page did, Ebony did, I would tell it because I didn't want to get in trouble. So whatever, because it was two of them, it was one of me. So it was always like bad my way if I didn't tell the truth because they was gonna team up and I was the only boy. So whatever happened, I would always tell it, and I just felt like the day before my sister died, I knew my sister was leaving to go somewhere. I didn't know where she was going. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not telling you, but she was like, Eric, just be cool. Like, don't do that. You've been doing that your whole life. Just be cool. Like I said, I never tell you nothing. Just be cool. And I'm like, I'm gonna be cool. So for me, I feel like if I'd have been who I've always been, then I would have. My sister would still be here. So for a long time to this day, I feel like if I would have told like I usually tell, my sister would still be walking today. So it's for me, it puts me in a depressing state knowing that if I would have made a different decision, my sister could still be walking. But then again, everything happens for a reason, which is easy to say when you're going. When it's not easy to say when you're going through the situation, but it's an honest opinion. Everybody's plan is already written. So, but what puts me in that state, just like I said, life is hard. Like I said, people say all the time when you're a kid, you have it easy. Like even if say you're homeless, you don't really have nothing to worry about as a kid. Just regardless of situation, you don't have nothing to worry about. Like all you have to worry about is eating and going to school. Other than that, like you don't have bills, you don't have kids, you don't have to worry about feeding nobody else. I mean, sometimes people take care of their siblings, but then again, it's like it's still a different type of living than adulthood. In adulthood, it's like, I mean, you can go to jail now. You can go, I mean, just anything. It's just life elevates to a certain level once you pass, I think 17 now. So like once I passed that age and once I became a man, it just like I said, my life is getting harder. It's like, yeah, I have support, but it's like I have to work now. I have to try to make my own way. I want to move. I want to move out of my parents' house. I want to be my own man. So it's like that is frustrating when you've never really done that in your life. And two, it's like, I mean, I get in situations that, I mean, everybody has bad days. I have a bad day and I think about it. Like I said, I have a tattoo, so it's like, it's immediately, it's just bam. Think about my sister, and it's like when I'm going through bad times, sometimes you feel like it's easier just to end your life. But then again, if you end your life, you just make it worse on the people around you that love you. So that's why I've never done it. I've thought about it plenty of times, thought about it recently. But the thing I've learned is no matter what I go through, you have to go through bad days to get better days.
And what does working out help you? Going to
My
the
coping, so I used to cope with football. I played football for like football is the one thing that I could do that I could hurt somebody and I couldn't get in trouble for it. So, but the thing is, I'm not a violent person. I don't like hurting people. So, my thing was I was hurting people in football. I could hurt myself, and it's like for a long time my football situation. I'm a very athletic person by nature. So a lot of things I do looks effortless. Not bragging on myself, but that's just what it is. And for a long time, I've had coaches tell me, "You're not trying hard enough. You're not doing this." But whole time they're not knowing that this is what's helping me stay alive. This is what, like, so I'm giving this all I have, but then again, from how I look, it doesn't look like it. So it's been a long time coming for me to really stop playing football. That was hard. I mean, I got depressed then because I played football my whole life. That was my coping thing. So once I stopped playing football, I started going to the gym more. I started trying to worry about more about my health. But even then, when I started worrying about more about my health, I wasn't educated. So I would just eat whatever I wanted to eat because I thought I was young. I do that, and it just that's not good at all. When they say you are what you eat, it's pretty much like you feel better when you eat better. You look better if you eat better foods. Your skin is tighter. Like so, you don't have as much acne. Just little things like that. Everything kind of flows around a healthy lifestyle. So for me, my biggest thing was I always wanted to help people, and I feel like it's one thing to help yourself, but when you can help others, that's when you really find out what your purpose is in life.
With that being said, what do you have to say to the little boy that lost his sister, and to the mom that lost her kid, and to the family that has lost a family member this season? What do you say to help them empower and keep going after their loss?
So what I would say to the little boy, what I did, find something that makes you feel better. Find something that makes you not as upset. Find something that you can do to get your mind, to ease your mind. For the mother, if you still have other kids, understand that their feelings matter as well. Make sure that they understand that you still love them unconditionally, and it's not just because the one person has been deceased that their life isn't over as well. Because if you're as a parent, if you make your other kids feel say even more depressed than they already are, they feel like you're not loved. They could end up doing something to themselves because they feel like once that person's life ended, theirs ended as well. So I mean that's another thing I would say. Just like I said, for the little boy, make sure that you find something that makes you get your mind off of things. For the mother, if you have other kids, make sure that you show them you still love them. If you don't have any other kids or anything like that, find something, the same thing. Find something that makes you feel better. Find something. So like I said, for me, working out, I can go to the gym mad, but I can't be mad forever in the gym, because sooner or later that weight, it's going to calm me down. So you can go in there hot, you can go in there pissed off, but at the same time, you're not gonna be pissed off forever. You're not gonna be pissed off for no 5 hours. So you go in there mad, you can go do whatever you want to do. Like I said, I wouldn't just say get under a whole lot of weight, but it's gonna relieve your stress in a lot of ways, and that's a scientifically proven fact. But what else did you ask me? The mom, the kid,
just the family that's going through
any.
How do you get through the holidays now? What do you do?
So holidays, my sister's favorite color is blue. I got a tattoo. I mean, everybody, you have to get a tattoo. So every time I think Mama, since I look at my arm, because my arm, I have all this whole arm is really family oriented. I have my mom's name, my little sister's name. It's just family oriented. So that's something that I personally done. I feel like tattoos are my story. So I have my story on my arm. So that's something that I've done. That's not something you have to do. Like I said, we have a tree in the front yard that's a resemblance of my sister. Our Christmas tree is blue for my sister. Like I said, I might wear something baby blue for my sister. It just really is, even though they're gone, just never forget them and do something you know they'll be proud of you for.
I just want to tell you thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for being so honest. I love you. And guys, Eric is on me all the time about working out. If you need personal training, he does meal planning. Yeah. What's the name of your business and what are your websites? And I will put them in the comments. So if you have any comments on anything, you want us to talk about anything, we are not counselors. We are not psychologists. We're just a family that has been through we're sharing our story to help other people through what we've been through. And Eric is right. Working out helps with a lot of things. So he's always on me. I need to get with it, but give me your websites.
So my brand name is Edougfit. I have a website. It's Edougera.com. I have to get that back up. But like I said, I do meal plans. I do one-on-one coaching. I do online coaching. Whatever you need to hit your fitness goals, I do it. Like I said, I have my girlfriend. She helps me as well. She's a nutritionist. She does like pretty much the same thing I'm doing. But I've learned to
What's your site?
I have Edougfit. It's Edougera.com. But I have Instagram. I have Facebook. My Instagram is Edougera.com. Not Edougera, at Edougera. So EDOUG ERA. I have another Instagram. It's at Edougfit. You'll see it on that page. And I have Facebook. It's at Eric Douglas. But like I said, I have any type of health, fitness, what you want to call it, inquiry you need, I have it.
And thank you guys for tuning in. This is my boo. We love you. Hope you have a good day and see you soon. Bye.